But God spoke to me about my brand a few years ago. He spoke to me and my husband, as a matter of fact, and let us know that we were called to be a bridge. There's something happening in this country that there is a huge number of unchurched Christians. People are leaving the church in leaps and bounds. And so, especially, I'm too old to be a millennial. I'm not a millennial, but millennials are definitely not interested in church. They don't have their grandmothers, their great-grandmothers stressing. I had a grandfather that rather my parents went to church, and now he's like, well, y'all get that baby dressed because she coming to church. And, you know, that just doesn't happen now. You know, we have, grandmothers are a lot younger. I mean, it happens in some families, but my kids have a grandmother like that. They rather I'm going, not they going to church. But it just doesn't happen like it used to, where it was the norm. And so my husband and I began to pray about this whole mass of unchurched Christians. And the need that there still was, I mean, because we have this massive number of unchurched Christians, but also with that, we have this growing number of depressed people and suicides and drug abuse and broken homes and robberies and carjackings. And so there's still a need for God. They're just not seeing the need for church. So what do we need to do? And so all of our brands within our households are really about meeting people where they are. And so that's where Women in Wine came in. The Bible tells us to not be drunk with wine. It tells us in 1 Timothy, if you're called to the office of an elder or a bishop, you know, if you're called to the office of the bishop, you're not to drink wine at all. And so that's the other thing too. And being confident and freedom, know the word and what the word says, because then when people question your brand, you can say, well, actually, this is what the word says about that. and so my point in telling that story is that I'm not a lot of people's first choice because I don't fit into a box. And when God gives you something, it will be peculiar. You will not fit into a box. And so don't concern, you know, there's a cliche, and I say cliches become cliche because there's some truth to them. You can't fit in when you were born to stand out. And so it's like, oh, why don't I fit in? And it'll get you down, it gets lonely. But it's like, you know, God, He set me apart. He created me to do this amazing thing, to do something different. And when you're branding your business, this is all going to connect what I'm talking about. Unique brands, brands that are sustainable, brands that span the test of time. When they first started, they upset the status quo. And so if what you're trying to do feels very, you know, one of the things that bothers me is when I meet someone and they talk to me about being excited about their business, and I'm like, well, what is it that you're doing? And they're like, well, what you're doing? Well, what am I doing? You know, you articulate to me what I'm doing. And so if that's your first answer is I want to do what so-and-so is doing, it may be time to pray a little bit more. Because what God has for you is for you. It's for you. And that's not scriptural, but it's true. And so Mark Twain said that the two best days of a man's life are the day he's born and the day he figures out why. And so all of us were born with the why.